Hi, I'm Dan McConnell with Modern Arnis. It's after class this evening, and what I'd like to do is take just a short time to demonstrate the similarities in the cross connection between empty hand and weapons work. What we're going to do tonight is stay standing. We're not going to take it all the way to the ground. I really just want to illustrate how you can use a lot of the same motions whether you have a weapon or an empty hand. And this holds true whether it's a long weapon or a short weapon. The biggest thing that changes is your distance from your partner. So if I can have Steve come in here, please. This is Steve. Steve's been training with me for a long time. So the first thing we're going to look at is, it may be called different things in different styles. In Aikido it's called a Riminage. I see a lot of it may be called something else. There's a few different ways to do this. What we're going to work off of right now is just a punch on Steve's part. And all I'm going to do is pari, check, or you can call this tansao, whatever you want to call it, and then trap this toward him as I'm making my body move in. If you wanted to, you could start from one of those typical reference points that they use in Wing Chun or JKD, which is where you start a lot of the trapping stuff. For now, though, to make it a little bit more realistic, even though we're not going all the way around, we're not trying to hurt each other, I'm going to start from the punch. So as he comes in, I'm going to come here. So my footwork is I'm going to move in and cut the angle on him slightly. So it's 1, 2, here, and I push. So as my body comes in, this checks automatically. I'm not trying to come in and let my elbow break here and then try and force his arm down. So as he comes in, my body moving in does the rest of it. So it's a lot of body weight going on here. So it's 1, 2, 3, push his face. As I move around him, my hand stays in this position. But because I step and I turn, what happens is my arm starts checking his spine toward his hip. My hand is still in the same position. So as he comes in, it's here, and I turn his face, I move behind him, and then I would drop him here. But as I drop him, you can make this as hard as you want when you drop him, but I would need to move back out of the way so he doesn't end up falling on me. So that is a slightly gentler version than if I just plant this like a wet rag on his face and mash his face all the way to the floor. The other thing is, if he's got a friend, and I'm being sort of double teamed, this allows me to get behind him and maybe use him as a shield. So it's 1, 2, move in and push, turn his face, smear it, and then drop him. Okay? So now we're going to grab canes. And he's going to strike at me with a number 1 and a number 2. I'm going to use what we would call the flow. Some people may call it crissade, but as he strikes number 1, my empty hand is going to pass this, and my weapon hand is going to hit him. So it comes here, he follows through, and comes back with a number 2. This is my entry. As I make this number 2 block, it's not a cut block where it comes all the way to my hip. It's more of a slice block where it comes more to my shoulder. That way, this is already at a very close range, and it's an easy, fast counter, particularly if it's a bladed weapon. So he comes in with a number 1, pass, move in here. I'm going to gently poke onto the other side of his neck, reach around, put my forearm on his shoulder, and then kind of like hedge trimmers, crimp his neck and put it under my arm. I can oblique kick, I can drop just like we were doing empty-handed this way, except now I've got his neck exposed, I can choke him out. So one more time, 1, 2, 3. When you're practicing with your partner, it's important that you do 2 things. One is allow yourself and your partner to see what it feels like to actually crimp his neck, and your partner should slap loud enough that you can hear him tapping. And the other is then loosen your grip a little bit so that you can put this under your arm without actually hurting your partner. So one more time. 1, 2, and into here. There's one other way to get to that same choke, and that is 1, 2, place it here. That would be a hit, maybe a grind. Place it here, and then reach around and grab it. punyo into the stick. So, 1, 2, 3. All the way around here. You can make that hit. You can make it harder or softer as you see fit. So once more, 1, 2, and around. There's a lot that you can extrapolate and pull out of this movement. Be careful with your partner, and remember you can take them all the way to the ground, you can choke them out, you can work with training blades, something the size of a machete. You can do similar movements with a knife. I'll leave that up to your training partners or instructors to help you work with that. So thanks again, have fun.